Hello class, my name is Greg Bomarito and I'm going to be teaching you guys how to power clean today. So breaking it down from the movement, starting from where we're going to start with our feet. Our feet are going to be right around the balls of our feet, and usually we're going to have our feet just right around shoulder width. And there's going to be just a slight point in the toes. You don't want toes directly straight. There's going to be variation for certain lifters, but to begin, we're just going to have a slight point of the toes outwards, just 10-15 degrees. The next thing we're going to address is how we grab the bar. The bar is going to be just outside of our shoulder width. So, and how you grab the bar is a thing called the hook grip. This might take a little more explanation, but you grab your thumb and you take it in between your third and fourth finger and you hook around, and that's how Olympic lifters hold a barbell and lift barbells. Not all people are going to teach that initially, but the hook grip is a great tool if you're trying to really lift heavy. So it's just important if you're trying to do the Olympic lifts, just to learn right away, so you just get completely used to it. So that's kind of just where we're going to start, not even setting up for the bar. So when we're doing a power clean, we need to go down to the bar to prepare ourselves for the lifts. So we call this portion the setup. So people have different setups, but the way I teach the power clean initially for everyone is what we do is we're going to have our hands just slightly outside of our hips, and then we're going to squat down while trying to keep our chest up as much as possible with where our feet are, with the positions of the barbell in relation to our foot, just on the balls of our feet, over the balls of our feet. So what you do is, all you're going to do is you're going to squat down and kind of look for the bar, and there you go. You're going to find it here. So that's how you set up for the clean. So that's the first breakdown point. And then usually how I break down the lift from that portion is we kind of teach it by portion. So we start from just kind of a clean style deadlift. So we then lift it to the hip, which is just going to look like this. We squat down, set up, take that breath, and we lift to the hip. And then we can add more the dynamic portion, which is going to be us pulling to a portion kind of to our sternum level, and then we kind of receive the bar by getting under it. We extend the body and we try to get under the bar in the final portion of the lift. So it is a very dynamic movement. It requires a lot of lift. So if you're a super novice to weightlifting, I would break it down step by step, and this would be probably the first movement we would learn. But it doesn't require a tremendous amount of coordination. It's just you have to jump with weight, which is kind of sometimes hard to quantify or think about. So yeah, I'm going to demonstrate in a moment here. But yeah, so let's just go for the next portion. So the next portion is when we get to this point, we're going to still be loaded. And we want to get that explosive portion, so we need to use we're using the legs from that deadlift part, and at this point we use the back and even the arms a little bit. The arms are kind of used at the end. Ideally, when you're pulling, you want the arms to be lengthened when you pull off the floor. So it's as if you when you're setting up, you're pushing off the ground, and so you create that tension against the bar. So you're not you don't have that slack, because when you start lifting, that will kind of cause you to come out of position. So you really want to stretch up and be ready, pushing with the legs off the floor before you begin the lift. So I'm going to now add the dynamic portion just to the sternum, and we call this a clean extension. So I'll show you real quickly. I set up on my own that way. All right, set up. We'll do one more. Okay, cool. So that kind of adds the dynamic portion. What the power clean is really good for is it is a very dynamic, explosive movement. So it's going to increase power production. It's going to increase speed and coordination. It's used in a lot of different sports. In strength and conditioning world, it's an important benchmark of a lift. And yeah, I'm a big fan of it. So now we got that explosive portion. The last portion of the lift is going to be the point of us receiving it. So it's also an athletic movement to receive the bar, because you kind of receive it in that power position, which is what you find in a bunch of different sports. So it has a lot of turnover to other sports. And this is where a lot of newer lifters have a tougher time with that turnover. You'll see me, I've been lifting for a long time. So I get that extension and I'm able to move my feet out and bring my arms around quickly and get those elbows up and in a nice, good upright position. Because when we're cleaning, we want to make sure we're using the legs the whole way. We extend with the hips and ankles, and then we move the feet out, and that allows us to pull with our upper body to come under and receive the bar. So I'm going to do a full power clean now. I'll do one from the front, and I'll turn the bar, and we'll do one from the side. And this is just 40 kilos for me, so this is going to be like, I don't know, it's a really low percentage, so it might not mimic like what a true heavy lift looks like, but I'm just going to go a little bit slower than I normally would, just to kind of break down the lift a bit more. All right, cool. So I'm going to do my setup, squat down, make sure my chest is up, set tight with the arms, push with the legs, control. Cool. Okay. Now I'll do from the side. Okay, so you can watch me. The bar is going to be close to the body at all times, because that's how you can act on it. If the bar goes away, or if you're swinging, flexion, or too far over, you're going to have a harder time acting upon the bar. But one thing you'll see from the side angle is me staying on top of the bar, is what we say, with our shoulders staying on top of the bar, which allows us to get that good extension, that vertical extension, which is what you want in weightlifting. All right, so set up. We've got the waterworks. But yeah, so that's the power clean from the side. As you see, I had that extension. I was able to get those elbows around quickly. And yeah, so let's see, common mistakes for weightlifters, for new people doing the power clean. Number one, what I would be saying is that the action of the change of direction is slow when you're trying to get back under the bar. So that comes with practice. We have drills, even basic drills, just kind of learning about extension and coming back down. We can work from the hang position. You can start from the high hang, which means the rep starts here, and you come over and you do a rep. You can do it from the blocks, which would break up portions of lift. So when you're new, you want to kind of break it up a little bit, and obviously, lift at a lighter weight, because you don't want to be, lifting super heavy without supervision and possibly injure yourself or just develop a lot of bad habits. So with when you're initially lifting, it just take your time. You want to do a lot of reps, and if you're obviously under supervision, break down the technique. You can use filming your bar path is a great way to kind of see where you're at. There's other way to measure your explosiveness as well. Yeah, so let's see. Is there anything else I'd like to add? But not really, I'd say. But yeah, just a really great lift. I explore you to try it. If you haven't, I'm sure most of you have. My best power clean is 340 pounds, in case you're wondering. And I did that a couple years ago. Hope to beat it again this year, so I'll let you know if I do that. All right, thanks guys.